Yay! Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this incredible interview with Priscilla Skippington. I have had the pleasure of working with Priscilla for, is it about 4 years, Priscilla, that we've been?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Priscilla is a true entrepreneur. She is such a go-getter and has always, I suppose, stood out. When I first connected with Priscilla, she jumped out of social media at me and I had to connect with her. And so she's just got this special magic about her. And she's been growing her NSE business for the last 4 years. But we're going to delve deep into Priscilla's story, and she's going to no doubt share some great wisdom with us all. So to kick it off, Priscilla, can you just share, what you were doing, the lead up to us catching up and connecting 4 years ago, and a bit of background around who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, thanks for having me on, Ange. So where was I? I've been a graphic designer. I was a graphic designer. I am a graphic designer. I had been doing that for, at that point, probably 8 years. I'd worked in a number of industries, predominantly at the end of my working career, working for somebody else. I was in the fashion industry, which I absolutely loved. Hands down, my passion, fashion, accessories, beauty. It's always been something I've been very passionate about. So I was very lucky to be a designer, and then I moved into more of a creative director role in that space. Until I was in an awkward situation with my last employer. I was part of a startup business, online business. And I knew that it was a startup, and I knew that we were waiting on investors to come on board. But I'd also made a commitment that I was going to be an employee and I was going to be paid for the time that I was working in this startup. Anyway, 4 months into the contract, working my butt off, I was in a managing director's role. So I was hiring, firing, completely building the business on social media, the website, everything. And 4 months in, I realized that I don't think the investors are coming through, and I've been paid 2 pays out of the entire 4 months. So at that point, my husband was definitely like, come on, you need to make the call now. Like, it's time to move on. Part of me felt like it was my baby because I'd really built it. The owner of the business was there, but purely there as this is what I want to create. I was the creator. So it definitely felt like my baby. But I made the strong call to go, well, if I'm not making any money here, and I don't see it going anywhere, then I've got to make the call to leave. And either I go and start my own thing and make no money to start with, or I go back and I find another job. And I knew I'd always wanted to work for myself. And I think that role kind of pushed me to the point to go, you're worthy of working for yourself. You can do this, because I had built that myself pretty much. So I made the gutsy call of going, well, I'm going to go out on my own. I went back to my bread and butter, which was graphic design, and I created a creative agency in 2016. And I loved it. I love design. I love helping people in small business. The startup phase is something that really lights me up. I love people's visions come to life. A lot of people can see what they want. They know what they want, but they have no idea where to start or how to create it. So that's really, I suppose, my flavor. That's what I bring to it. And all well and good. I met Ange on social media in my first year in business, and 4 months into starting my business, I actually fell pregnant with my son. It was a funny story because only a month before, I said to my husband, look, let's just stop trying. We've been trying for probably about a year. I said, let's stop trying. I'm starting a business. And of course, when you say that, you fall pregnant. So, and at that point, I knew that I didn't want to give my design away. I didn't want to give my business away. I was also running events and workshops and things at that time as well. It's not that I wanted to give it away and I wanted to do something else. It was that I knew as soon as I took my foot off the pedal of that business, everything was going to slow down. The clients were going to slow down. The paychecks were going to slow down. There was not going to be much cash flow in the business. So I needed an additional income stream. And I really just put it out to the universe. And of course, that's where Ange landed. That's where Ange came into my inbox and said, hey, I really like what you're doing. Would you be open to a business opportunity? And I had no idea what it involved, but I was willing at that point to get on a call and find out more. After the call, obviously, Ange completely won me over. She was a businesswoman herself. She'd had an incredible journey and a story. And I really love and admire people's stories and where they've come from and where they're going and what they see for themselves. And then I caught up with Ange in person. I tried out some of the NSE products and I thought I was just going to start small. I was just going to start with some product. I was just going to try it out. I bought the toothpaste, the mud mask, and a polishing peel.
You remember?
I remember. And that's where I started. And I'm here 4 years later. It's been ups and downs. It didn't just end with product. I ended up working out that I loved the product. I loved talking about the product. I was making a bit of extra income, which was my initial thought. Like, that's the reason I joined the business. And then I went, hey, you know what? I actually love helping people in small business. And I want to show this to other people because I know there's other mums, soon to be mums, or other women in business who need additional income streams as well. So that was really, that was when I decided, hey, I'm going to actually do this as a business. And yeah, that's cool. Where I am now, still doing that.
Priscilla, can I ask you, when because, you know, when this enters into, or, you know, you sort of, NEC sort of comes by at the crossroad for people, or it sort of comes into someone's life, whether it be through the product or a conversation or both. People have different emotions around it. I'm just wondering, did you, when we first spoke, I mean, you were open to something, obviously. You put it out there, you're open to something. Was there like a hell yes, this is it? Or was it anything else that came up when we first spoke with it?
Yeah, good question. And I was actually just thinking, just then when you were talking through it, I was thinking back to the moment, because I remember it really quite well.
I do too.
Yeah. You made an impression, obviously. And just before we had spoken, because I ran a number of networking events myself, I had met a number of network marketers, and I had been approached by a number of companies and a number of people at that point. And I was always a bit poo-hoo to the whole network marketing idea, just because I really put it in the basket of, oh, that's the easy way out. It's not really your own business. You're not really working for yourself. All the things I thought I knew but didn't know. My son's just joined us. And yeah, so going back to that. So that's the boy 4 years later. So I'd been approached a number of times. You can hear him now in the background. And it wasn't really until I met with Ange, I felt like NSE had so much more to offer. Yes, I was passionate about beauty already. So I think that was a tick already in my books. But also it felt solid. It felt solid. And maybe it was just the way you delivered it. Maybe it was the research I did on the business. Maybe it was a combination of everything. But it felt different. It felt like it had more. It was more than just the product. And I think that's what really, it wasn't a hell yes. It was I'm going to see where this is going to go. But I trusted I trusted the product and I trusted the process and I trusted you.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Now, just
lovely.
go back
That's
to
great.
social media. That's how we met. Like, I did not know you from a bar of soap. You did not know me, but the power of social media and connecting people. And it's also, you know, developed into a beautiful friendship, a beautiful relationship, along with obviously the business side over the last 4 years, which has been fantastic from my perspective anyway. Like, it's just such a cool
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just one thing to add to that, I suppose being in business, and you would have, you know, been the same, it's easy to spend a lot of money on coaches and mentors and looking for the answers and for the help and the guidance through business. In this opportunity, you meet not only incredible people, but incredible mentors who are there for you, not because of the dollar, but sorry. Not because of the dollar figure, but because they genuinely want to help you and they want to see you succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's brilliant. It totally is all that. So tell me, Priscilla, if you could
Sorry about all that.
No, I think that's great. It's blending it. This is all blending it.
Lead up to Christmas there at home.
Exactly. Share some, some highlights for yourself over that period for people and what you've experienced on your journey so far.
Yeah, definitely. So number one, I've been to a number of events with NSE. At the moment, I know with COVID, we're a bit restricted, but I have been to some great events, which really, I suppose, cement the vision. You know, it's not just you working towards your goal. There's a number of hundreds of people, thousands of people in the same boat who are looking for something more and willing to work and drive and strive for something more. So events have been incredible and I've really enjoyed them, especially one that Ange invited me to. I was very lucky to go with her to the Leadership Summit on the Gold Coast. That was incredible. Personally, some of the highlights I've had, I've met people that I would have never crossed paths with if it hadn't have been for this business. It's allowed me to connect with people and build genuine relationships with people that now inspire me. You know, I think that's really incredible. Other highlights, I mean, hitting goals that I maybe hadn't planned to hit, or not that I hadn't planned to hit, but, you know, there's a lot of times when you go, oh my God, is that possible? Can I do it? And then, you know, your team show up and things happen, which is incredible. So I'm a person, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a brand, which everyone knows I love to do. So I created a brand and a community for like-minded women like myself to be able to connect and do the business together if that's where it leads. But more than anything, just create a community and a space where people can feel connected, that we can share our dreams and ideas and feel heard by more than just our mentor, but by our community. It's been great. It's very cool.
It's very cool. So congratulations on that community. What's the vision for you going forward, Priscilla?
Yeah, so I declared it last week.
I heard. So that's what I'm like. I'll listen again. I loved it.
So obviously in my NSE journey, I have had ups and downs like we all do.
Yeah.
Quite normal.
Quite normal.
Quite normal. But it hasn't scared me away. You know, I'm quite happy to ride the wave. I'm happy to keep hurtling away because I know that there is a finish line. I know that I can get there. And I know that anyone can get there if they really want to. So there's been ups and downs in my organization. And this, I suppose, Christmas period, this December has really made me evaluate where I'm at, where I've been, where I'm at, and what I want to create in 2021. And I have declared that I will empower 1,000 women globally in 2021. That's not me personally. That is my organization, whoever that may be. But to be able to empower the masses rather than focusing on, I've got to find 6 people, focusing on a much bigger number, because those 6 people will show up if you continue to, I suppose, spread the good word and empower on a larger scale.
Yeah, I love that. That's such an exciting vision. And watch that world. Yeah.
Watch that world.
Yeah.
Stick at it. I think that's been the biggest thing. I've seen a lot of people come and go in this business. And sometimes it's, you know, it's for reasons out of our control. I understand that. But the worst thing you can do is quit. This business you never know what seeds you've planted. And I know people say this over and over and over again in NSE, but it's so true, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 years down the track from now. So the best thing to do, I believe, is just to stay active. Just continue to use the product, continue to talk about the product, continue to talk about the company, the business. Doesn't mean you have to do it full time all day, every day. To that is, in fact, don't do that. One thing I've learned along my journey is don't put too much pressure on yourself. Have fun with it. It's going to be a crazy ride. It's like, it is going to be a crazy ride. It doesn't matter how quick you get there. There's still going to be, it's still going to be a ride. So just enjoy the journey. Everyone says that, I know as well. But enjoy it, and just remember, the only way you can fail at this business is by quitting and walking away. So just stick at it, however small that may be or however big that may be, and just know that your vision is possible. If you want it enough, you can achieve it.
I love that. So, so true.